I'm sorry. Okay, anyway, on to the video. Alright, so 2020 as a Sonic fan was pretty shit, let's be real. It was super drought city, okay? Also, this is not me dissing the first movie or anything. I enjoyed the first movie. That was more of a 2019 thing that got pushed back from a bad design. But in general, it was drought city that year. Like, if you cared about the main series or any form of games whatsoever, it was drought city, okay? And anyone who denies it was a drought is a bigger liar than Marvel when they say that Toby and Andrew aren't in the movie. Anyway, that led the mind to wander to quite a few places, relying on leaks for any sort of information on what we were going to get with the next Sonic game or games or whatever they were working on. Fast forward to 2021 and the rumors of a Sonic Adventure remake are rife. Everyone believed, and even I believed, that we were getting some form of Adventure remake, only to find out it was getting scrapped, and it was a whole depressing thing that I don't want to go through again personally. But it led to these thoughts about a renaissance, and yes, that's how we pronounce it in the UK. You can Google it. And this renaissance was supposed to be some kind of new age for Sonic games where things were different from the meta era. Now, I made a video about the 6 Infinity Stones of the 2010s and how they were being destroyed, and this was back when I was still believing that this was going to happen. And I mentioned the 6 stones. I really recommend watching that video because I still think it holds up to date, besides the fact that we didn't get that supposed renaissance. But I want to kind of discuss those stones again, but now with Sonic Frontiers, and compare this to what we got with Forces to see if the stones really are being destroyed and if we are actually in fact leaving the meta era. Now you might say, oh, it's too soon to decide that because we haven't even gotten gameplay of Frontiers, and yes, that's true. This is more so of a semi-prediction based on what we've been hearing, but of course I'll have to recap this when Frontiers gets more gameplay at all, and then we can really know for sure. So if you watch that original video, you know that the 6 Infinity Stones of the 2010s, and if you don't know, the meta eras is basically the 2010s until supposedly now, but again, that's why we're doing this video. The 6 stones were 2D sections, Unoriginality, Pontaff, Wisps, Classic Sonic, and Roger. To me, these were the 6 elements that were the most integral to making the 2010s the 2010s. Forces being the worst offender of the 2010s games because it contained all 6 of these things. Colors only really containing 4 of these things. Lost World containing 5.5 of these things. I give Classic Sonic a half point because honestly, the figure 8 running animation and the whole inspiration for the game felt very classic inspired with the badniks and everything like that. Rise of Lyric, no one gives a fuck about Rise of Lyric. And Generations, which actually does contain all 6 of these, but it's still the best game of the decade. Let's be real. Best Sonic game of the decade. Not best game, relax. I mean, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood exists. But what led me to make the initial video was that a lot of signs were coming out that was seemingly dictating that we were going to leave that era, that certain things that were there were going away. Like Tyson Hess saying that they were never going to return to Classic Sonic wholesale, whatever that means. And Aaron Weber saying on a Sonic live stream that we were going to see Green Hill again for a long time. Ken Pontac of Ken Pontac and Warren Graff, aka Pontac, basically saying it was a good run, like we had just stopped writing for Sonic. And then Roger saying it was no longer going to be voicing Sonic anymore. So that was like 4 of the 6 stones that were like confirmed gone. But since then, it's been a bit interesting because then after that, Roger came back, so that was completely undone. The Adventure remake that we were hoping to get ended up getting scrapped, and then we got a Colors remaster alongside Sonic Colors Rise of the Wisps. We then got a Classic Sonic leak for Sonic Frontiers. Now that could have been a scrap concept, but clearly it was in the consideration cards, so it's clearly not out of their mind entirely. And then we even got Sonic Frontiers leaks, like the Daki leaks that I covered a while back, that mentioned that they were going to have Green Hill type levels, chemical plant type areas, like they were going to basically bring back those old environments, but not exactly, but still basically there, which means we're in a very interesting place now. The only thing that seems to be confirmed now to be gone from those 6 Infinity Stones is Pontaff. That's it. They talked about them having a good run, and then we get the confirmation, like no leaks, no nothing, that Ian Flynn is the one writing Sonic Frontiers. And since we're not getting any other game except Origins, we don't need Pontaff for that. It seems like, yeah, the Pontaff train is over. That's the one stone of the 6 of the meta era that is confirmed gone. Roger is back. so that is completely here. Classic Sonic is still completely up in the air. The Unoriginality Stone, or as I like to call it, the Green Hill Stone, is definitely still up in the air, because this first environment that we saw for Frontiers, I don't know if that's a Green Hill inspired area, a Sky Sanctuary inspired area, but the leaks suggested it was a Green Hill inspired area, a Chemical Plant inspired area. So if the Daki leaks are to be believed, we still got some unoriginality left, which I'm not even gonna lie, it doesn't bother me that much that they reuse levels, but it bothers me that they reuse the already reused levels so much. Like Green Hill, Chemical Plant, Sky Saint, like there's so many great environments if they were to actually dig into their library of 2000s games that they've abandoned and forgot about and not ported, like Sonic Heroes, which cannot be bought anywhere digitally. But anyway, my point was that I love new creative environments, like the new zones in Sonic Mania, the 4 that we got, but I'm not completely against old environments if they would just not keep going for the same ones. Then at least it would feel like some nice hint of nostalgia, like, oh, that random zone. I didn't think they were gonna bring back Altitude Limit in Sonic Frontiers. I didn't think they'll bring back Deadline. Did they bring back Coliseum Highway? Like, what? I didn't think they'll bring back Crazy Gadget. Like, I want something like that. Like, if you're gonna rehash, if you're gonna be lazy, like at least go for something that is not Green Hill. But anyway, we got 2 more stones to talk about. Let me not get riled up. The 5th stone is 2D sections, which we never got any sort of information I would suggest that 2D sections were going anywhere. But then of course you got the Frontiers tech demo, and it shows a fully 3D open world. So I don't see how 2D could be in there unless they do like a Super Mario Odyssey thing where you have that little sprite-based section where he goes 2D for a sec. But of course the leaks suggested cyberspace levels, which I'm guessing are supposed to control like standard boost levels. I don't even think Spin Dash is in this game. I think the whole game is boost, but with these cyberspace levels, this would probably be where I expect the 2D to come in. Remember, we've got someone working on this game whose whole like library of Sonic games that he's worked on goes from trash to mid, in my opinion. And I mean, he was the director of Lost World and Forces. Pretty much most of the things he's worked on had 2D sections in them. So I would assume that even if the open world was fully 3D, somehow 2D is still gonna show up in this game, which leaves the last stone, which is Wisps, which I think from the leaks so far, we haven't heard anything about there being any Wisps, so I'm not gonna rule it out because I know better. But we know Boost is in this game, and we know sometimes Boost has been utilized by having Wisps, but I don't know if that would work in an open world if you're trying to like boost all over the place and you gotta remember to grab enough Wisps. But then again, you're gonna have to grab a lot of rings to boost around the open world as well, I'm assuming. So I wouldn't even want to rule Wisp out at this point. It's like we haven't seen it yet, but don't get your hopes up kind of situation. Especially when Wisps have been used as power-ups for so long and pretty much replaced the power-ups that we had in the 90s and the 2000s, and there's gonna have to be some kind of power-ups in the big open world space. Like there's gonna be some moment where they're gonna want you to hover from one part of the world to another. I don't know, but it's just too soon to rule that out. So when comparing Sonic Forces that has all 6 of these stones in full force to Sonic Frontiers, which you don't fully know everything about yet, we only have 1 stone confirmed gone. 1 stone. Because I know a lot of people are acting like, oh, the meta era's over, Frontiers is the new wave, and I want to believe it, but I'm just saying it might be a bit too soon to hop on the meta era's over train, because we've been down that road before. Forces with the initial trailer gave us that, oh, the tone is different vibes, and they've learned their lesson now, no more cringe, and it was cringe. It's been generations since I've seen you, whatever, but like, just because there's a nice new CGI trailer and some in-game graphics that look oh so shiny, doesn't mean that the meta era's over. We only got 1 stone confirmed gone. 1 stone confirmed gone, which is Pontaff, 1 stone confirmed here, which is Roger, and basically 4 stones that are still up in the air right now. But if we are to believe leaks, then we're going to have to keep the Green Hill Stone, as unoriginal levels are set to make a return. But yeah, I mean, it really is a situation of it's up in the air right now. 1 stone confirmed gone out of 6, 1 stone confirmed here out of 6, 2 that we're basically speculating on based on leaks, which is Classic Sonic and Unoriginality, although technically 3 because I saw 1 or 2 leaks maybe say there was no Wisp, which then leaves the one that we have no concrete information to go off of, which is 2D sections, but it seems like a given who's working on the game. So it could go either or at this point, right? We could get no Classic Sonic, we could get original environments, we could get no 2D even in the cyberspace levels, and no Wisp, and we're in the clear, right? Pontaff confirmed to be gone. All that would be left is Roger, which, yeah, Roger, but like at the end of the day, what can we do about that really? Like, I'm so desperate for 3D Sonic to be good that I'm willing to just, I guess, overlook that, you know, just write off enjoying the character Sonic himself, if at least the game is fun. You know, like I did with Generations, right? Like, I didn't like his voice there, you know? People think I hate Roger or something, like I have some personal vendetta. I don't. Like, Ezio Auditore is literally my favorite video game character, and that's voiced by Roger. And I played that before I played Colors, just for the record. Like, I already had positive memories of Roger before I even heard his Sonic voice. You could admit that you don't like someone's voice for a character, okay? Even if you like their other, like, you guys listen to music, right? Like non-Sonic me, like artists, you know, and they might drop several albums, and you might think one of those albums is trash. You could be the biggest fan of that artist. You could be the biggest Eminem fan, and you could still admit that you thought Revival was trash, because it was trash. You could be the biggest Drake fan and still admit that Fuse was not as good as Nothing Was the Same. You could be the biggest Lil Wayne fan and admit that Reboot. You guys don't know what I'm talking about. The point is, you can like someone's work and not like some of their work. It's natural, okay? It's fine. But the internet will take it and twist it into like, oh, he's hating on this person, like give him a chance with good writing. I just don't like the voice for Sonic. It's as simple as that. No writing will fix that, okay? But if you ignore the story, as simple as like putting on a Jason character mod could deal with that. Although now people are deep faking Jason's voice into the cutscenes. I saw some Blue Vivacity video that did that. It was actually pretty cool, but obviously the deepfakes are not perfectly there yet, so it was obvious. But maybe that could be our future. Maybe deepfaking voice actors, you know, maybe we'll get a bit more realistic and we could have that. And then essentially we could be in that situation where even if there's still one stone left from the meta era, everything else could be gone and we could be in a new age and we just mod the voice that we want in, and there's no harm, no foul, right? I mean, Beats made this one for me on one of those deepfaking websites.
Yo, what's up guys? Premydaremy in the house, showcasing for you guys today the Jess and Griffith Unleashed mod for Frontiers.
But anyway, the point of this video was to say, Frontiers, I guess, is looking promising, but let's not rush into the meta era as overtrend just yet. There's still time for them to add in critical Infinity Stones of the meta era, but let's not completely lose hope yet, right? There's still things that aren't confirmed. We only have one confirmed stone at this point, and we already have one that's confirmed destroyed. There's still a chance that this could be the new age. This could still be the Renaissance. Just because it was an Adventure remix doesn't mean it's not the Renaissance, right? But we still have to wait and see. We still need gameplay. I know Sonic fans get hype over CGI, but gameplay is still important. So we will wait and see, and then we'll conclude with full opinions whether the meta era is truly ending or the meta era is never ending. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think about this video. What do you guys think about the meta era and the 6 stones as they are laid out? Do you think they're going to get destroyed, or at least most of them get destroyed? Or do you think Frontiers is going to be more meta era garbage? No offense, Generations. And Mania, you don't count. You're still classic era, just for the record. But yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. Make sure to check out the non-Sonic channel. The link will be in the description. But that's all I have to say right now. So, Premy out.